Yes, you read the title right. We're building an entire tank in dead rails today. How, you ask? Simple. You can attach stuff onto the banjo, so we're basically just gonna make my friend here hold out this banjo, and I'll just slap stuff onto him and hopefully make something like a tank. This video was honestly super difficult to record since the banjo is incredibly rare, so please consider subscribing. Anyways, let's begin with today's video. So right off the bat, I think we're mostly just gonna target towns since they have the most stuff and have a good chance of spawning a banjo. Yes, they're hard to kill, but we've came up with this system where I down like 10 snake oils and masterfully bait the entire town onto the rails, where my friend knocks them over. Looks like we basically cleared the entire town with just a train. What we're looking for here is the banjo. I guess the game only wanted to give us this ammo crate. It's actually pretty important since the gun for this tank will be the machine gun and it runs out of ammo fast. Church had some holy water which we can use if a zombie somehow gets inside the tank. And in the hospital there were some Molotovs which are basically just the same thing. Our luck honestly wasn't looking too good. Most of the time we found like everything except what we needed. But because I bought one of the classes with some bonds, we had some materials to build the tank to begin with. We only need the machine gun and banjo now. Looks like there's another sheriff station, so let's go beat off this zombie here and see what's inside. My boy lasted like 2 seconds, but that's not important since we found our second case of machine gun ammo. Also found a German pistol. Things are looking pretty good for us right now. We've got a super stacked hotbar, but this banjo is still nowhere in sight. Also, I may have lied about not having a machine gun because my friend here just straight up whipped one right out of his sack. He apparently had a horse from wherever too. All we need now is this little banjo and we have ourselves a tank. Time to bait yet another town to their deaths. And of course, the minute I step into the town, it becomes night. But hey, looks like I've baited most of the town here and also some random zombies. All we need to do is to not miss with the train and we win. But I guess we somehow still messed that up, and my friend is now getting mauled. Looks like I have no choice but to raw this one. It wasn't really that much of a challenge, since they're pretty brain dead when it comes to dodging bullets. Not only that, I'm also pretty brain dead in throwing holy water because I somehow missed a point-blank shot. I left my friend for dead, but I guess he found a way to survive. Anyway, I have no idea where all the zombies went, but I'd assume it's safe to loot now. I don't even know how I sell this bad, but right off the bat, I walk right past a perfectly good helmet. Looks like this house has some pretty nice stuff too. Forgot to mention we also need a camera since my friend controlling the tank won't be able to see without one. Even though we already have stacks and stacks of baby oil, I see some more in here which I'll gladly take along with some bandages. I found this cool sharp metal stick too, which I'm pretty sure is one of the best weapons in the game. And lastly, there was this rifle which I already have. This is probably the most mid-town I've ever seen. And looks like here is a perfect chance to test out my new diddle stick. It's crazy fast and does more damage than any other melee as you can see here. I love my diddle stick so much. The game chose to be super nice this time and finally got us a machine gun. This stupid banjo is officially rarer than a machine gun. Looks like it's almost night. And even worse, it's a full moon. We'd have to rush to the next town, otherwise we'd be cooked. Honestly, this is actually really good since we can use this extra money to buy even more stuff. Next morning, we rushed out again to take on yet another town. After killing the zombies in this gunsmith with my brand new diddler, we found our third case of machine gun ammo. I guess the game really hates me since this is the third night in the row that it's been a full moon. A little further down, we found our last required piece of metal and yet another machine gun. I think what we're gonna do from now is just to skip these individual houses and raid only towns. This banjo is so stupidly difficult to find. After going a little past the 30 kilometers camp, we found this super massive town. Going with our usual strat, I'll bait all of them onto the rails while Tao will run them over. Or not. I found this cool Molotov earlier and wanted to use it really bad. Some of these idiots survived the flames, but they were easy pickings since barely any were left. And just like that, I think we've cleared most of the town. Going into the other half, I sniped the remaining ones with my beautiful rifle. This one dude actually ended up getting stuck on my horse. And just like that, we've cleared the town. We quite literally don't need anything at this point. We have more ammo than anyone can ask for, and even more baby oil than Diddy had during his prime. And finally, after about an hour, I finally found the banjo hidden under some newspaper. Looks like this zombie didn't like that, so I showed him how all his friends died. Now, with everything we need out of the way, I guess the game had to just mess with me one last time by making it Blood Night. But now that we had basically infinite ammo, this was probably the lightest fight we've ever done. There's nothing some vampire can do to a shotgun aimed right at their face. Now it's time to finally start building. I'll just have my friend here hold out this banjo while I weld stuff to him. Since the space inside the tank might get a little cramped, I'm gonna add this camera so he can see. Next, we're gonna take a machine gun and place it facing backwards. Now, I hear all of you complaining and saying that's lame, but there's just no way we're gonna be charging straight into battle with something as stupid as this. Now, it's time for the armor. We really only need it to cover my friend like this. I think the best way is to have it in an arrow shape, since that's the only way to make it airtight. The only way he'll be able to see is with the camera now. We learned this from our first run, but we also will need barbed wire, since zombies can easily get in. Before that, though, we're also gonna need some rear armor. Since there's no way to really make it super round, we also have to make the back like an arrow. Looks super stupid, but it surprisingly works. Now for the barbed wire. I tried my best to put it inside the tank, but this is as good as I could get it. One on either side should be good enough if some zombies try rushing. Now lastly, we're just gonna slap some ammo crates wherever we could. This proved to be more annoying than I thought, but looks like we're about ready. For better mobility, my friend's also gonna be on a horse. Now you know horses can't really turn very well, so we're mostly just gonna be baiting and shooting back at them. Before we even got a chance to go anywhere, however, it was already Blood Night. This is the perfect testing site for this tank since vampires can teleport and are pretty difficult to deal with. Now it's time to hop onto this abomination and test it out. It actually is surprisingly smooth. It's faster than vampires and can kill them before they even get to us. Just mostly have to keep some distance in between, but it's actually pretty good. This is like our third time using this thing, but I guess we're ready now for a town invasion. My friend's first gonna ride around and try to aggravate them, and I'll just be there to mow them down as they try to chase us. Let's start. Right off the bat, it was doing decent damage, but my idiot friend somehow rammed into a building 2 seconds later. I guess he unequipped the banjo since the whole thing just suddenly came apart. Looks like we're forced to throw a Molotov and pop a snake oil to escape. Ended up just gunning down any of them that came after us. This is probably better against bandits than anything else due to its armor. Nonetheless, let's finish raiding this town. As long as he can keep moving, we will be okay. This would honestly be so many times better if we had more people. Nonetheless, it was super light after that initial blunder. Didn't really need anything from the town, but I think we're ready to raid the new fortress now. Obviously, we had to make sure it was bulletproof, so I shot at my friend here a few times, and thankfully it is. So in the morning, we hopped onto this absolute monstrosity and went to battle. This thing seriously sucks in close-range combat, so I'm just hoping on every star that my friend can steer the horse correctly and not mess up like last time. For the first wave, not much spawn, just some of these little crooks. It was proven to be actually bulletproof since this dude couldn't do anything with his little gun. To be honest, not much really happened the first few minutes. We couldn't find out where they spawned, and so we kinda just sat around and killed whoever we saw. They sent this cute little horde to try to kill us, but they did basically nothing but waste some of our precious ammo. But when these faster units arrived, everything just fell apart. My gun couldn't reach this one dude for some reason, so I had to unequip and use my rifle to kill. But then the machine gun somehow broke, and I couldn't fire. Some Molotovs temporarily saved us, but my friend was dying, so he had to unequip. Even after drinking the last of my snake oil, I was still pretty cooked, and in the end, I got cornered and brutally touched. Now, if we had more people, this would have gone way more smoothly. We may do this again in the future, so comment down if you want to join. Anyways, hope you have a good rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one.